Mortgage Minute today, being brought to you by our friends at Geneva Financial. When you're ready for that next home loan, Geneva's got the programs and the products. You just need to make the call, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, and every day at this time, OBMMI. They provide the most comprehensive, accurate, timely, and interactive analysis of pricing ever conducted in the mortgage industry, calculated from actual locked rates with consumers across 35% of all mortgage transactions nationwide. They don't tell us points paid, points received, or the APR. They only tell us the number you need to put in your mortgage calculator to figure out what your principal and interest payment is. If you don't have a mortgage calculator, ronismylender.com. Ronismylender.com will give you one for free. Let's see. Conventional 30-year fixed down 6.096. Jumbo 30-year fixed up 6.488. FHA 30-year fixed down 5.929. VA 30-year fixed down 5.459. And the USDA 30-year fixed, that one was up 5.947. If you want our market commentary, we put that out each business day morning as early as the data allows. rsrlinks.com/market minute, rsrlinks.com/market minute. You can get that commentary. We give it to you for free. We try and get the data out as early as we can. Sometimes the data comes out right as we're getting ready to go on air, so we have to delay a little bit. But we do get that out as early as possible. Let's take a look and see what's going on. Those were rates from Friday. Let's see what the markets are doing today. The S&P 500 is now down 11.5 points. The 10-year Treasury yield, the rate, is down 3 basis points. Mortgage-backed securities, the bond price, up 4 basis points, which really means that, or now it's up 7 basis points, which means, when, again, bond price up, rate goes down. That's just the way it works. It's mathematics. So we know that the Federal Reserve is going to be the big news of this week. We also know a few other things that we're going to share with you as we prepare for the Fed's commentary. So the Fed hiked rates in this cycle to 5.25% and have been extremely restrictive on the economy in order to fight very high inflation. Fed is 100% going to cut rates on Wednesday. The big question, how much? Last week, the Fed futures market, which is like the market's betting line on what the Fed will do, is pricing in only a 15% chance of a 50 basis point cut. 50 basis points means 0.5%. There's been a change of heart, however, with the market now pricing in 65% chance of 0.5%. What changed? Well, Nick Timiraos, Wall Street Journal writer, and is someone who is viewed as the quote-unquote Fed mole. Historically, the Federal Reserve has had someone like this who preps the markets for what the Fed is about to do because they don't want to take the markets by surprise. Timiraos has accurately let the markets know what the Fed is going to do several times over the last few years. In his latest piece, The Fed's Rate Cut Dilemma, Start Big or Small, Timiraos outlined the close call argument for both a 25 basis point and a 50 basis point cut. While he did not come out right and say what he felt the Fed was going to do, he ended his article quoting former Vice Fed Chair Donald Cohn, who said, quote, "We're at a point where you might say I could go either way, 25 or 50, but I think the risk management has shifted to the labor market and favors doing 50, unquote. It appears the markets are reading between the lines and interpreting this as the Fed mole trying to prep the markets for a 50 basis point cut. Very important to understand that the size of the cut is important, but so is the Fed's tone in their statement. Jerome Powell's press conference and a summary of economic projections. Powell and the Fed can temper or enhance their rate cut decision and can significantly impact the markets with their guidance. Later today, we're going to hear from Fed Vice Chair former Fed Vice Chair Lael Brainard, who is now the Director of National Economic Council. Since she now works for the White House, her commentary may be taken with a grain of salt, but her prepared remarks were released and highlights that we have reached a milestone in the fight against inflation. Her speech says that the economy has reached an important turning point where the inflation surge of the past 3 years has largely ended. She went on to say that it's important to safeguard the important labor market progress we have made and she took a very big a victory lap. Quote, many were convinced that the combination of a large decline in inflation with a sustained expansion that we are seeing today couldn't happen. The fact that comparable countries experienced the same surge in inflation while the recovery was stronger in the US suggests that government policy differences mattered, unquote. Her comments lead toward a 50 basis point cut as well, even though she is no longer part of the Fed. So we'll see what happens. That's going to be the big issues this week with the Federal Reserve. And, again, we're going to see what they have to say. And that'll be coming out again, as I mentioned to you. We're going to see that report on Wednesday. They'll announce the amount at 11 o'clock Pacific time. And they're going to talk about the thoughts starting at 11:30. That's the Mortgage Minute, brought to you by our friends at Geneva Financial. When you're ready for that next home loan, Geneva's got the programs and the products. You just need to make the call. 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990.